Most men don't lose their marriages in a single dramatic moment. They lose them quietly, slowly, while believing everything is fine. There's no cheating scandal, no explosive fight, no clear villain in the story. Just a sentence that arrives one day without warning. "I'm not happy anymore." And the man stands there stunned, replaying years of memories in his head, asking the same question again and again. When did this start? The truth is uncomfortable because it doesn't begin where most men think it does. It doesn't begin with distance or arguments or money problems. It begins much earlier, often before the wedding, sometimes before the relationship even felt serious. It begins at the moment a man is chosen not for who he is, but for what he represents and what he can provide. From the outside, these marriages look ideal. The photos are perfect. The smiles are real enough. The timeline makes sense. Education, job, marriage, house, stability. Friends congratulate you, family relaxes, society nods in approval. Everything appears correct, responsible, mature, successful. But underneath that clean surface, something essential is missing. Not commitment as a role, not effort as an action, but deep emotional attachment. Because not every marriage is built on connection. Some marriages are built as solutions. A woman reaches a certain age. Her friends start pairing off. Engagements and weddings appear one after another. Group chats change. Weekends feel emptier. The future that once felt open starts to feel like it's narrowing. Dating feels exhausting now. Starting over feels risky. The fear of being left behind quietly grows. She doesn't necessarily want passion anymore. She wants certainty. She wants stability. She wants the house, the children, the social legitimacy of being settled. And then she meets a man who fits. He's stable, he's reliable, he's willing, he's available, he doesn't create chaos, he doesn't disappear, he makes sense. So she says yes, not because she feels a deep emotional pull she can't resist, but because choosing him feels like the responsible thing to do. Like progress, like solving a problem that's been looming in the background of her life. This isn't always malicious, it's human. People make practical decisions all the time, but practicality does not automatically produce emotional bonding. And when marriage is built primarily on timing, pressure, or security, the foundation is already compromised, even if both people have good intentions. The man doesn't see this at first. From his perspective, he was chosen. He believes the relationship exists because of mutual desire. He believes love led to commitment, but in reality, he was selected. He met the requirements. He fit the criteria. And there is a crucial difference between being chosen and being selected. Being chosen means someone sees you as irreplaceable. Being selected means you were the best available option at the time. That difference doesn't show up immediately. In the early years, life still works. Routines form. Responsibilities are shared. The marriage functions. On paper, everything looks fine. But emotional debt starts accumulating quietly in the background. And then one of the most painful dynamics begins to surface: replacement. Before the husband, there was someone else, someone who mattered deeply. Maybe he was exciting but unreliable. Maybe he had status but avoided commitment. Maybe he represented a life she wanted but couldn't secure. That relationship ended not because the feelings disappeared, but because reality forced it to end. So she moves on. She chooses someone safer, someone stable, someone who will commit. On paper, the new man looks like an upgrade, but emotionally, he becomes the consolation prize. Not the man she longed for, but the man who was willing to stay. This is rarely conscious. She may genuinely believe she has moved on. She may genuinely believe she loves her husband, but emotional attachments don't dissolve just because logic says they should. The heart keeps score in ways the conscious mind doesn't track. Unresolved emotional history doesn't stay in the past. It leaks into the present. It shows up as comparison. It shows up as distance. It shows up as inconsistency. The husband senses something is off, but he can't name it. She's there, but not fully there. Present, but distracted. Affectionate, but selectively. There's a gap he feels but can't explain. That gap is comparison. and comparison doesn't need to be spoken to exist. Every memory of the past becomes a silent measuring stick. Every success he achieves is weighed against an idealized version of someone else, a ghost who never had to face responsibility, boredom, stress, or real life. You can't compete with a ghost. You can't outperform a fantasy. And this is where men make a critical mistake. They try harder, they assume effort will close the gap. They become more reliable, more patient, more accommodating. They sacrifice more. They provide more. They believe love works like work, that if they just give enough, the distance will disappear. But conditional attachment doesn't stabilize with effort. It escalates expectations. When someone values you for what you provide, performance becomes the currency of affection. And the moment performance becomes the currency, love turns into a transaction. This becomes painfully clear when pressure enters the system. Here's a truth most men only learn after damage is done. Financial stress does not destroy strong marriages. It exposes weak ones. When money is flowing, when life is comfortable, emotional cracks remain hidden. But when income drops, when a job is lost, when a business struggles, the structure is tested. If the marriage is built on genuine attachment, hardship brings unity. Two people face the problem together. If the marriage is built on provision, hardship reveals the transaction. Patience fades. Warmth cools. Support becomes conditional. Men often say, everything was fine until the money problem started. But the money didn't cause the collapse. It revealed it. This is when men begin to feel like they're auditioning inside their own marriage. Like love must be constantly earned. Like one bad season could erase years of effort. And instead of slowing down, they push harder. They take bigger risks. They chase success not out of vision, but fear. From the outside, it looks like ambition. From the inside, it's desperation. The finish line keeps moving. Every milestone creates a new requirement. There is no enough, and affection becomes inconsistent. Warm on good days, cold on others. Not because of mood swings, but because engagement is tied to outcomes. The man starts chasing the good days. He analyzes his behavior, trying to recreate whatever version of himself brought her closer. But he's chasing smoke. The warmth was never about him. It was about circumstances. Another quiet signal appears. Attention to the past. Checking on exes, knowing details she shouldn't know. Casual references that carry emotional weight. These aren't harmless habits. They're signs of unfinished emotional business. Someone who has truly moved on doesn't need updates on a life they've left behind. And when attention is divided, commitment is divided. Some women seek constant proof that they made the right choice, not always through materialism, but through validation, experiences, visible progress, reassurance that they didn't settle. When proof slows down, doubt resurfaces. Men exhaust themselves trying to reassure a decision that was never emotionally secure. And when exhaustion finally hits, when performance drops, the relationship destabilizes. Because transactions fail when delivery stops. This is how marriages can look functional for years while quietly hollowing out from the inside. The collapse feels sudden only because the erosion was silent. What makes these marriages so difficult to understand is that they don't fail loudly. They decay quietly. From the outside, everything continues to function. Bills are paid, routines remain intact, social appearances are maintained, holidays are celebrated, photos are posted. To everyone else, it looks like a normal marriage going through normal phases. But inside, something critical has shifted. The emotional center is gone. And when the emotional center disappears, what remains is maintenance, not connection. This is where many men make another fatal misinterpretation. They confuse responsibility with intimacy. They believe that carrying weight, solving problems, fixing situations, and absorbing stress is proof of love. They assume that reliability naturally produces desire, that if they keep showing up consistently, affection will stabilize. But reliability alone does not create attraction. It creates convenience, and convenience slowly erodes respect. The man becomes the backbone of the household. He keeps everything running. He handles pressure without complaint. He becomes indispensable in function, but invisible in essence. He is appreciated, but not desired, needed, but not chosen. This is where utility fully replaces intimacy. In these marriages, the man's role becomes clear. He is the provider, the fixer, the stabilizer, the emotional shock absorber. His purpose is to reduce friction in her life, to make things easier, to carry what she does not want to carry. And because he is a good man, he does it willingly, quietly, without resentment at first. He believes sacrifice is love. He believes endurance is commitment. He believes that if he just keeps showing up, the bond will deepen. But something else is happening underneath. The more he overfunctions, the less she has to invest. The more he carries, the less she feels required to show up emotionally. Slowly, without intention, the relationship becomes unbalanced. One person gives from obligation, the other receives from expectation. This imbalance creates silent resentment on both sides. He feels unappreciated, but can't justify it because, technically, she isn't doing anything wrong. She feels dissatisfied, but can't explain it because, objectively, he's doing everything right. And this confusion keeps the marriage stagnant instead of healing. Another layer that men rarely examine is caretaking. Some relationships don't begin with mutual desire, they begin with rescue. She is struggling emotionally, financially, socially, or psychologically. The man steps in. He supports her. He stabilizes her. He becomes her safe place when her life feels chaotic. During this phase, she is affectionate, grateful, emotionally open. The bond feels intense. The man interprets this intensity as love. But need is not love. Need is dependency. And dependency changes once stability returns. When her life improves, when the crisis passes, when she regains footing, the dynamic shifts. The closeness fades instead of deepening. The man doesn't understand what changed. He was consistent. He was supportive. He was present. But the context that created intimacy is gone. What he felt wasn't attraction, it was relief. And relief expires. Desire does not. This realization is devastating for men because it forces them to confront the possibility that what they experienced was never mutual bonding. It was appreciation for service. Another destructive pattern appears around availability. Men are often taught that consistency is everything. Always be there, always answer, always prioritize, always accommodate. But when a man has no boundaries, no independent gravity, no life outside the relationship, his presence loses weight. Not because she is cruel, but because human psychology values what has limits. A man who is infinitely available unconsciously signals that his time has no cost. His attention has no value. His presence requires no effort to obtain. And what requires no effort rarely commands respect. This does not mean playing games or manufacturing distance. It means having a life full enough that you are not orbiting someone else's emotional needs. Men who lack this often become background characters in their own marriages, always present, rarely felt. Then comes the emotional exit. This is the moment men almost always misunderstand. Women rarely leave suddenly. They leave internally first. She stops sharing her inner world. She stops bringing problems to him. She stops imagining a future together. She processes dissatisfaction privately. She reframes the relationship in her mind. She talks to friends, sometimes a therapist, sometimes no one at all. By the time the man notices something is wrong, she has already been detaching for months, sometimes years. When he finally reacts, when he promises change, when he increases effort, it feels sincere to him. But to her, it feels late because he is responding to a crisis. She resolved it long ago. This is why men describe divorce as coming out of nowhere. It didn't. It came out of silence. The paperwork is just the final step. The real ending happened when emotional investment stopped. When men look back, they often realize they ignored their own intuition. The unease they couldn't explain, the feeling of being evaluated, the affection that felt conditional, the comparisons that slipped through, the distance that never fully closed. They ignored it because acknowledging it would mean confronting a terrifying truth, that they might never have been fully chosen. And this brings us to the most uncomfortable realization of all. Some men unconsciously recreate this dynamic again and again because it feels familiar. Men who grew up earning approval learn early that love is conditional, that affection follows performance, that being useful is the safest way to stay accepted. So when they enter relationships, they gravitate toward partners who reinforce this belief. Not because it's healthy, but because it feels normal. Unconditional love feels foreign, suspicious, almost unsafe. So they don't trust it when it appears, they dismiss it, and they stay in situations where love must be earned because that is what they understand. The solution isn't blaming women. This pattern has existed across human history. The solution is awareness. Knowing the difference between being valued and being needed, between being chosen and being convenient, between partnership and transaction. A healthy relationship does not make you feel like you are always auditioning. It does not make you afraid of one bad season. It does not tie affection to performance. It does not require you to erase yourself to maintain peace. Healthy love is stable. It doesn't disappear when life gets hard. It doesn't fluctuate with outcomes. It doesn't measure you against ghosts. So slow down. Let time expose what intensity hides. Watch patterns, not promises. Observe how affection behaves under stress. Notice whether effort flows in both directions. And most importantly, examine your own conditioning. If you believe love must be earned, you will always accept less than you deserve. You deserve to be chosen for who you are, not for your utility, not for your stability, not for your timing. The right relationship feels like mutual investment, not silent evaluation. It feels like partnership, not employment. And once you truly understand this difference, you stop rushing. You stop over-functioning. You stop auditioning. You stop building marriages that were never designed to last. Because being chosen is not loud. It is consistent. And it does not disappear when life gets hard.